Hello everyone, welcome to Wednesday Lunch Live Sketch. My name is Frank Summers and today I'm going to be sketching Dirk the Daring from Dragon's Lair. Today is October the 28th, 2015. But what I normally do is I step back for the previous week and I do a quick crit, which would be this guy, Frankenstein. This only takes a minute. And overall, I was kind of happy how this fella came out, but there's one thing that caught my eye, which was the center line of his belt is a bit off. So if I was to draw a center line, here's his neck coming down. This looks okay into his chest. But if I follow the curvature, and even that's a little off, I can see that's a little, the V-neck is off. Follow the curvature down, and it would go straight into his pelvis. As you can see, this buckle is off. The buckle should be a little more over here. Should be a little more facing like that. Which would mean the V-neck would come a little more like this as well. So, I mean, it's just that little touch. It's that little bit that throws it off and it flattens out the chest and the torso and the trunk entirely if you want to get down to it. Yeah, so there you go. It's always good to step back and take a look at your own work, even if it's been like a couple of days. You look back at it and you have a fresh set of eyes and you see things that went wrong. Speaking of things that went wrong, this is my second shot at this. Of course, Photoshop crashed right in the middle of it, so I had to stop my stream and restart. So anyone who saw that, I apologize. And thank you for bearing with all the amazing technical difficulties that go along with this. So we'll close him for now. No. And we're going to move forward with our subject of this week, which is Dirk the Daring. I'm doing this because Don Bluth announced that he's doing a Kickstarter to do a 10-minute or 11-minute trailer for a new Dragon's Lair. So that would be kind of cool if that actually worked. With that said, I'm going to go forward with a bit of a Dirk. I spent some time, did a little bit of homework here. I roughed out a couple ideas. I kind of like this one the best. So we'll go with him. These are just some gestures. I'm going to work over them and define the shapes a little better. So we're going to just make a new layer. We'll knock down this layer a little bit, just so I really can't see it too well. We'll zoom in just a little bit. I'll pick a bit of a darker color. Generally what caused the Photoshop crash the last time was the brush I was using. I know that sometimes when I switch, if I make the brush too large, if I make a giant brush with these particular brush set, it just makes Photoshop crash. It's very frustrating. Thankfully, I had everything saved. So, yeah, so let's just get to work on this guy. You know, we're going to define some of these shapes a little better. Go a little lighter, actually. I don't want to commit to anything. The funny thing about Dirk is that he's kind of, he is kind of brawny. You know, he's kind of muscular. He's long, you know, but he's still kind of goofy. There's a goofiness about him. There's a goofy quality, which is fun, you know, because he's kind of bumbling. Come right down here to the elbow. He has lots of straights and curves. Very straight, very curved. Which again makes for good design. And I would say overall he's simple. Let's just rough in. I'm just blocking in shapes right now. The head is, and this is where it's going to be a little difficult. So I'm definitely crunching his head down. Okay, so now I'm running into an issue. So bear with me here as I'll walk you through. So if his head is crunching down, right? If my initial idea was to take his head and was to scrunch it down, like maybe behind a shoulder, you know, he's reacting to something that's happening over here. If you can see it in the gestural rough, I have things kind of going up, and I don't know if you can do. I'm trying to make that pose right now. I'm trying to. I mean, it's awkward. So if this is, let's clean this up a little better. So if this is the skull, if this is his skull right here, and then here's our center line, and then we have an ear, and then here's our eye line. I mean, this could work. It could work. It just means this tip right here would actually be back here someplace. The tip of this helmet would be over here. It would be rotated back. So I need to correct. I just need to correct that. I can still rotate the head back a little, slight, and this is off. You can see that this is not solid. So let's nail that a little better. There we are. There's that eye line right here. The eyes are going to sit right there, and we'll correct the helmet. It's not a crown. It's a helmet. We'll correct that a little better. Okay, good. He has a chin. He's very chinny. Okay, good, good. And now this is kind of flat. Hold on, this line needs to be fixed. You know, it really is a matter of, all it takes is one line to just not be true. And I can already see that I rotated the crown, keep calling her the crown, his helmet a little too much, you know? And this is where the design of everything comes into play. Having solid drawing. And if that's not right, if your base is not correct, your drawing will suffer. And I'm taking time here on this part to make sure that all of his features will sit properly on his head. Okay, and like a nose will be here someplace. Let's just get some eyes in quickly. The Bluth characters generally have very pinched features, and by that I mean like the nose and the eyes and the nostril. Everything is all situated in a very tight area. Okay, that's good for now. Let's leave that for now. And I want this hand to not be in a fist, but to be loose. Maybe he's caught off guard by whatever this is. And this one could be a fist. He's gripping his sword. I gotta remember for my time here. I don't like the purpose of these live sketches is to never go. I don't ever really want to go past 15 or 20 minutes on these things. They just get boring, you know. I'm not in Toon Boom. I work in Toon Boom all day long, and like sometimes jumping back and forth. Sometimes jumping back and forth between the applications. Streamline under here. Rounded. Okay. Okay, let's just keep moving down. So we have a belt. Get a little bit of a rotation on his belt. And zoom out a little bit here. Let's just see how we're doing. Let's zoom way out, way out, way out. Now, to me, as I squint at that, I can already see that this screen right arm is strange. When you step really far out of things, you suddenly see your errors, and maybe it's how it's connecting into the body. And then maybe this arm, the length of this arm is too long, so maybe zoom back out again, way out, way out, way out. Yeah, it's still bothering me a little bit. Like I want that shoulder to come up. You know, here's the bicep of straight. You know, I'm not committing to anything is what I'm trying to say here. I'm working the drawing, and see, it's getting better. It's probably a little chunky is what's going on. You can just thin it out, and then maybe it's just a little long. I can just do this. Bicep, and we'll go into his pec. And I'm going to use the magic of Photoshop here. Just grab a lasso and just scooch. Zoom back out again. Okay, it's not bothering me as much, but it is a trouble area. It's probably something I should spend more time dissecting. Okay. He's got some long legs. This guy's got long legs, almost like Mega Man feet, and he's got giant feet. Giant feet. And we can take this foot and push it back into space a little bit, just to help get some interest. And here's his loincloth. Okay. We're always coming out okay. Maybe his head is a little big. I can probably trim his head a little bit. I actually own the laser discs of the first Dragon's Lair. I bought the laser disc that actually played in the machine years ago, way before like YouTube easily allowed you to download it and watch it, and way before it was more accessible and on the home consoles. And he has a backpack, or a knapsack it's referred to. He's coming along okay. I'm feeling a little better about this. Remember, I'm zooming way out and I'm squinting at it because I'm trying to look at the shape and the silhouette. The head is still bothering me slightly. I'm still not thrilled with the shoulder area. I think what I would do is I would like to take another layer and work over this and maybe make some corrections. And I can do that with red. And another thing that's easy to do, actually, what I should do is to do a flip. Transform. Okay. All right. See, now things are definitely popping out at me. Whenever you flip a drawing, things really have a tendency of popping out. So now that I flipped my drawing, I'll work over with the correction layer. You know. So some of this is looking good right here. It really is just this arm. This arm is looking just really crunched. And again, it comes down to sometimes it's just like Maybe I need to build the shoulder out more. It's like you move the line just like a minuscule amount. It makes it that much better. See, there's more. If I move back out, I'm zooming out, and I'm squinting at it. When you squint, it removes all extraneous detail, and you can see the problem areas. And I can definitely see that it is already making an. It is already an improvement. And let's make sure this area is the same as this area. And if I link these two layers, let's link them. And we'll just flip it back again. Flip, flip, flip. Where are you? Transform. Beep. And then again, zoom back, zoom, 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 zoom. Squint. Much better. Just it has, I don't know how, it has breathing room. It just, his shoulder is now anchored onto his body and it's fitting way better. So you can take that layer that we just made, this corrections, let me label it corrections. And if we just pop it behind, and pull this back up a little bit more. And now I'm lowering my corrections layer just so I can see. This is the equivalent of like putting it on a light box, which I often used to do. And let's just erase my old garbage because it is not working. Get rid of it. If it's not working, get rid of it. And we'll just grab some grayish graphite color and work back over. Give him a shoulder, a straight into the elbow, another straight into the wrist. Here's the crook of his elbow. Here's his bicep moving into the pec. The shirt falling over, or excuse me, whatever that thing is, sleeve. And just follow our lines, follow our correction lines. Hide the correction, step back, much better. Just feels like it sits correctly. And I'm going to wrap this up now. I'm going to spend maybe just another 5 minutes defining his face a little more, just correcting. So as you can see, just, I don't know, let me pull up my original gestures. I mean, like there's some, you can see the journey this has already taken just by flipping this on and off. You can see that, you know, the gestural idea of what I was doing with this exploratory sketch is refined and brought into this level. So what I want to do is let's knock it down just a little bit, and I want to make another layer, and I'm just going to refine his face a little more. The ear will overlap. This is a straight. His chin is a little more rounded than what I'm used to doing. His chin round, you know, the corners of the chin, I mean. He has a very, and the nose should come up higher. Nostril up higher. You can give some pressure to the eye. You can squint the eye a little bit. And this eyebrow is up kind of in disbelief somewhat. There we go. I'm feeling much better about this. His mouth is slightly slack. Okay. This disappears, tucks in, the rest of his head tucks behind his cheek. This rotates back behind. You don't see it. Okay, there's a subdividing line here, I believe, and there's one on the quarter, the side, and he has little bolts. I'll even put the hint of another bolt over here. All right, let's give a chin, or excuse me, a jaw. And there we have it, guys. I'd like to go through and finish cleaning this up a little bit more, but I will do so on my own, and I will post the final version on my blog and Google Plus and all of that stuff. So if you like what you saw here, please visit my YouTube channel and subscribe. Keep an eye out for an updated version of this. It'll be posted probably within a day or two. I'll get some more time to work in some colors and maybe refine his shapes a little more. Definitely need to go in here and figure out what exactly is going on with his fist. You know, I'll definitely still keep it blocky, I think. You know, but he has a little bit of a sleeve. Same thing with his hand. His hand still needs more exploratory, some more exploratory work. I'm not quite sure what I want to do with these pinkies. But I think the overall foundation of Dirk is looking pretty good. I'm pretty happy with where he's going. His face looks pretty on model for the most part. And I think that'll do it for today. Thank you very much once again, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Take care.